All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, the Zeus, the RSI Zeus Mark II Q A is now out. I am very interested to see how they are going to handle this. This has been... there's been a lot of controversy around this ship. There's been a lot of controversy around the ship because, you know, they announced that some of them have four size 2 shields. Some of them have 3 size 2 shields. And a lot of people are saying the size it is, how is that going to play into what's going on with like its competitors like the Cutlass Black? Is it a competitor to the Cutlass Black? You know, some people say no. Some people say yes. Let's see what CIG has to say. So let's jump into the questions. I believe this is just a little bit of lore. The RSI Zeus Mark II is smaller than the Spirit, but its cargo variant holds more than twice the cargo of the C1, more than the Mercury. Why would someone choose a Spirit over the Mark II Zeus? They're coming out of the gate with some good answers, hopefully, here. Firstly, the Zeus CL cargo variant has 3 size 2 shields, and the ×4 size 2 shields are reserved for the ES exploration model. We'll be discussing more in the near future due to the upcoming changes with components to support the resource network, as demonstrated by the Fix It and Fly It panel at CitizenCon. We'll be doing a big rebalance of item numbers on numerous existing ships, so expect other ships to see the same type of changes. Secondly, the Spirit is much more agile and has a higher top speed than the Zeus Mark II. Interesting. Favoring maneuverability and not getting over the raw SU carrying capacity. During production, however, we managed to get the C1 Spirit to hold 64 versus the promised 48. Okay, very interesting. What is the range of the QED and is it a snare or a dampener? Okay, great question here. So if you guys don't know the difference, a snare is the 20-kilometer bubble that pulls people out of quantum. The dampener is the 2-kilometer bubble that keeps people from jumping away. The snare also keeps people from jumping away, but the dampener is much, much smaller. Yeah. It does look... that is the comment that I'll make on the last answer, is the Zeus looks more agile than the Spirit for sure. I don't know how they plan on making this thing less agile. Maybe it just won't be as fast in a straight line, but it looks more agile for sure. It's smaller. Yes, the dampener is 2 kilometers. That's correct. Okay, so let's see what they say again. So snare versus the dampener. It is just a quantum dampener, not an enforcement device, which combines the snare and the dampener. The range will be similar to the one found on the Aegis Vanguard Sentinel. CIG, I think you may have messed that up. I think you may have messed that up a little bit. I think they mean the Cutlass Blue. Okay, anyways, moving on. There is an EMP on it, so maybe that's why they confused it. Okay, next. Or, I don't know, maybe the Sentinel is getting a QED. Maybe. All right, up next. Are the EMP and Quantum Dampener pilot controlled versus the Scorpius and Taurus? Is I'm sure the answer. Right now, we are allowing any seat to control the EMP and the Quantum Dampener through... though, if this causes issues, we will restrict it to a subset. On the MR security variant, the gunner and co-pilot will both have control of one of the remote turrets. Okay, interesting. So every seat is supposed to be doing something. That's kind of cool. It really looks like they're trying to make this a 3-person ship, which it's small for a 3-person ship. I'm not saying it can't be. It's very interesting. It does feel like the Zeus is supposed to be like the Cuddy Killer is what I feel like. I don't know. I don't know what you guys feel like. Great start. Okay, here we go. Is the Zeus Mark II CL available to travel through the small jump points, making it the current largest cargo ship to do so? Oh, interesting. What they're clarifying on here. Interesting. Likely, yes. I mean, it'd have to be, right? Like it's literally smaller than the Spirit. But let's continue. Likely, yes. Though there are a lot of changes coming in regarding jump points of their sizes and restrictions as the design evolves significantly since it was first discussed. Expect more info on this when we get closer to Alpha 4.0. Interesting. Very interesting. The Zeus DS, true. Why do prisoner boxes need extra space? Is it possible to place them on a normal cargo grid? Prisoner pods can be stored in cargo grids, but may take up relatively large volume and items that cannot be stacked on top of them. The prisoner pod area in the MR allows them to be stored more effectively in a meat rack format, similar to the Cutlass Blue without the compromising space. Okay, this is kind of an interesting take by CIG. They're saying, yes, you can put the... Can someone remind me, how much space does the MR have on it? How much SCU? Does anyone know off the top of their head? 16? Okay, so let's say it's small like that. Let's say it's 16. Some people are saying smaller. Let's say it's 16. Okay? I can choose to have a small room that takes up much more SCU, but effectively stacks the bounty pods. They just can't stack stuff on top of them. Or I can choose to have like the 120 or whatever it is, 140. But all I have to sacrifice is a room that stacks the pods in it. I don't know. It sounds like, why would you choose the bounty hunting variant other than the QED and the EMP could be good, but I guess we're just going to have to see how much of a big difference it's going to be. I don't know. Okay, up next. Are there any escape pods? The beds are designed as escape pods and eject out of the bottom of the ship. Sleep tight. Awesome. I mean, it is a good looking ship. We can't deny that. It's a great looking ship. Yeah, you do get an extra turret. That's true. So if you have a third person, you can utilize that. It does feel like the CL still has probably the most flexibility as a ship. Yeah. The MR looks great. I'll probably use it. I'll probably buy it in game, but I'll use it. All right, up next. The room opposite of the armory in the MR looks empty. What is its function? This room is an armor and suit locker storage, and the angle of the interior shot didn't show it all so well. Okay. What's the top speed of the Zeus? The ship is in active production. The value is ever changing, but it'll be lower than the Spirit C1. So make sure you guys do not melt your Spirit C1, because CIG is giving you confirmation right now that you shouldn't, because it's 20 meters a second faster than the Zeus Mark II. You guys hear that? That's big. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. All right. As an Explorer variant, will it have more shields? Will the Bounty Hunter variant have significantly heavier armor to compensate? That's the goal. Yes, trading shield power for armor will allow the MR to weather the target's fire. Okay. So with an extra shield, but I don't know. Just saying. Shields recharge too. Armor doesn't. Does the Zeus have any fuel recovery? Yes, all Zeus variants have fuel intakes capable of generating hydrogen fuel. Wow, man, I hate when they bring fuel scooping into the mix. Just because, like, it's been such a weird topic of conversation over the years. I wish they would just run in a lane with fuel scooping. Don't you guys? Yeah. Don't you guys wish they would just run in a lane with it? Just like say, okay, fuel scooping works on all ships, or it only works on exploration ships, or it only works on, XYZ ships, or whatever. I just wish they would make a decision with it, because right now it just feels like either useless or too good, or I don't know. Maybe cut it. Yeah, cutting it might be the way too. Just make up your mind. I could live without it too. And guess what? Oh my God. Imagine if they cut fuel scooping altogether and added proper gameplay to Gemini's, and also, just hear me out here, siphoning. Siphoning would be a amazing feature that could be added on to every ship. Maybe there's like a backpack that can siphon fuel. Not a lot, but it's enough. So if a ship is like soft death or even hard death, there's maybe a chance that the fuel tank can survive. Be so cool. Be really cool. Okay, is the top turret on the Zeus controlled by the pilot? Currently, the gunner C will be controlled the bottom turret on all versions, and the co-pilot will control the top. Okay, on the CL, it will have the tractor beam. Got it. Okay, splitting up roles. What are the intended roles for each of the 3 crew members? Like I'm saying, it's supposed to be a small 3-person ship. Because right now they don't really have one except the Redeemer. That's what they're aiming for. Regarding the bridge seats, one is a dedicated pilot seat. The others are co-pilots for gunning, or sorry, co-pilot and gunner specific. In roles, we don't want to lock players into any set roles on the ship. So while naturally one of the players would be flying the ship, the other 2 are free to assist in navigation, turrets, offense, missile mode, EMP, quantum dampening, or deal with engineering. Okay. Can the Zeus Mark II EMR be equipped with the red, blue, or white warning lights like the Drake Cutlass Blue? This isn't currently planned, but we'll see as it goes through production. Okay. Yo, melt, boys. They don't got the wee-woo lights. Melted. They don't have the wee-woo lights, so we're not interested. The deal breaker. All right, final question. Does the Zeus have an exterior docking collar? There is indeed an airlock with our small metric docking collar, with a ground ladder access in the room to its right, providing a second and third entrance to the ship respectively. Oh wow, 3 entrances on this ship? Are you kidding me? 3 entrances? We can't even get an elevator on the MSR? That's insane. Okay, well, it looks like it's still going to be a really good ship. It looks like it's going to be a really good ship. It is hard not to be more excited for this ship than it is the Spirit. It just feels like the Spirit. It just feels like the Cuddy. It feels like the Vanguard, but it does it better. I bet money the Vanguard beats this, though. I'm just saying in terms of like a 3-person ship. I don't know. Maybe with 3 people in it, maybe it doesn't win. I don't know. It's hard to say yet, but it just seems like this ship is going to perform extremely well for its size. It feels like it's targeted to be like a Cuddy replica, but with 3 people. It's sleek. It's extremely well designed. And I mean this in the way that it's supposed to sell itself. You know, it's supposed to sell itself. That's what it's supposed to do. I think the way that they make people not want to melt their spirits for this is add a second shield to the Spirit. And I heard they bumped up the capacitor, right? That's good enough for me. I think that's fine. They fixed it. As far as I know, it's fixed in PTU, erect. All right, guys. Well, that was the Zeus Q&A.